Hi everyone and welcome to episode 26 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. This is a knitting podcast. I do a little bit of crochet. I have done a tiny cross stitch a while ago, but I have put it down. It's hibernating at the moment, but at the moment it's predominantly knitting. So this is my little corner of the world where I rabbit on about knitting, mainly Ganseys at the moment. So welcome. As I say, my social media handles are Naomi Knits on Instagram or Big Bird on Ravelry. So welcome everybody. Two things I want to talk about before I go into the knitting. Firstly, so I'll say it's the 13th of October today, and that means we're in a new month. I didn't do this last time, I forgot, so soz. This is my little Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. Apocalyptic Knitter calendar that my husband very kindly did for me. So October, I'll read it out. In the eerie glow of Halloween's moon, the knitter stands, her needles a boon. A boon? I don't know what that word means, do you? Ghosts and ghouls all take their stance, but she wields her yarn like a knight's lance. Stitches cast under the spectre's haunt, she faces each spirit undaunted and daunt. With her cat by her side, eyes shining bright, she knits through the ghouls in the soft, spooky light. Now, first off, I thought, brilliant, yeah, love it, Halloween, all that kind of stuff, right? But let me just remind you, let me just take you back to this little sentence here. With her cat by her side. Where's the cat, right? The cat has been in every single one, every single month, right? But it's not there this time. So I'm a little bit aggrieved by that, I'm not gonna lie. I might just paint it on, colour it on myself. But no, I do quite like that. She looks quite badass, doesn't she? Yeah. So anyway, that's that. And secondly, I can't believe it, over 100 subscribers. That is absolutely taking my breath away. And I did promise that once I reached 100, that I would do a little bit of a giveaway. So, but yeah, no, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much and welcome to you all new ones who come and enjoy listening to me ramble and waffle and get overexcited about wool and knitting and all that. So yeah, and thank you to all my faithful viewers who've been with me from the start. So yeah, anyway, enough of that mushy stuff. So this is a skein from my stash. As I say, I'm not affiliated with anybody, I don't get sponsored or anything. So this is a Dusty Dimples beautiful skein of yarn that I've looked for in my stash. Because I thought, obviously I've got some skeins that I've all caked up already. I've got some that I've got plans for, and I kind of wanted one that was, you know, would appeal to the masses. So it's got some lovely neon-y green speckles there. So yeah, so to be in with a chance to win this skein of yarn, I would like you to drop a message or comment on the YouTube thing. So basically today I've been doing all the little jobs that I've been putting off because I either find them boring or have to do them and don't want to do them and all things like that. You know, like making a phone call. I pushed myself, I went to the gym. Really didn't want to, but there we go. So it could be anything. It could be knitting related, life admin related. So what have you done in the last week where you've really put something off and you've done it and it's literally took you 10 minutes or something like that? So yeah, just for a bit of fun, bit of interaction, and I'll get that sent out to you. I'll do a forgotten the word of it. You know, you go on the internet and it's like a number generator. I'll do one of those. Okay, right, so there's that. I can relax a bit now that I've mentioned that bit and the calendar, because I forgot that last time. Well, so the last time that I podcasted, since then I hadn't been well. What I thought was just a general lurgy ended up being COVID. So yeah, do not recommend. I panicked a bit because I literally got it 7 days before I started my new job, but thankfully the day before I tested negative. Whew. But I did kind of get in touch with my boss and kind of say, just so you know, and did the whole, is anybody in the office immune compromised and all that kind of thing. If you want me to wear a mask, let me know, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, all good. So far, as I say, people on the team are really, really nice. But it's going to be really interesting and the right amount of challenging and everything. It's just that kind of whirlwind when you first start and you don't know anything about anything. And yeah, that's my comfort zone that I really do not like, but you have to go through these things, don't you? So there we go. Anyway, I have got a finished object to show you. It's the ends have not been woven in, standard, so, but I'm using my new sock blockers. Ta-da! So these are the West Yorkshire Spinner in the Hollyberry. That's the main one. I can't remember what this colour was. I think it was just like a standard red. I will have to dig it out, sorry. I did a standard fish lips kiss heel. I did 2 up and I think I cast on 34 each side, so 34, 68 stitches. And same again, did a bit of the contrast rib there in the cuff, and you'll notice there's a little bit of sparkly wool there just at the end, and that's because when I showed the recipient the other pair that I was making, like the Grinch ones, they were like, oh, can I have a bit? So I said, yeah, I'll just put a touch in there. Now, I don't know if you remember me saying that I had both this yarn and that yarn in stash, like remnants, and there's about like that much with the other one. And then obviously these are about size 11, so they're quite long. And I thought, oh God, am I going to be playing yarn chicken? Because I didn't want to do them too short here. So I thought I wanted them to be enough up the ankle, which it is. And I thought, do you know what? Just carry on with it. It's a commercial style yarn. I can buy another ball if I have to. I want to show you where I got to with yarn chicken, because I won and it was amazing. Which one is it in? So look, that was all that was left, which is absolutely brilliant. So they match really well, and I've got no wastage, and I've got rid of one ball of wool. Not got rid of, but used up. So yes. So I'm gonna get the ends woven in on these. Look, I've still not taken my little stitch markers off yet. I'll have to do that. So they're done. I feel like usually when I'm making socks, I tend to just speed through them, but these 2 pairs that I've got, I just seem to stall. I don't know if it's because I've been given the Gansey like the full like evening attention, or what. I just thought I ended up just getting this pair finished, just to kind of feel less overfaced with everything. So there's that one, and then in my new little grey girl bag. Isn't that lovely? These books. I just find this is just the right size for like a yarn. Take a breath. It's the right size for a sock project. This is also, do you ever get a pair of socks and you feel like you've been doing loads of work on them but they just don't seem to be going anywhere? These don't seem to be knitting up fast and they're only a size 7, and I think what it is I'm not enjoying the wool. It looks lovely, it's really fun. So this is the Grinch, it's King Cole Party Glitz sock yarn, and you can see, move that out of the way, you can see it's got like that gold thread, which is half the reason why it's so nice, but it feels quite, like the stellina part of it feels quite, I don't know if scratchy is too strong a word, but you can feel it more. And it just feels a little bit tougher when I'm using it, so I don't know if it's that. But I worked on that a little bit this morning, and what I've done is I've stuck on my list of things to do today to finish this sock, because then usually the second sock tends to knit up a bit quicker. So there's that. Anyway, it's moving. It's moving. And that means that I've told myself that once I've finished the first sock of this, I can cast on a new pair. And I'm going to be casting on this. So this is called Fireworks Stripes. It's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and it was from Hand Dyed by Kate. So I got this in a Facebook de-stash, and I don't think that the lady's dyeing at the moment. So I thought I went to kind of have a look to see if they had an Instagram account. I'm not sure if they do, or it's not been updated in a while kind of thing. But anyway, Hand Dyed by Kate. So these are going to be a pair of socks for my cousin, or my second cousin, who loves everything black and neon, and I thought she'll love this. And recently went to a family party, like literally like 2 weeks, might be 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks ago. And she's, have you done my socks yet? And I'm like, no. But I think something about stripes makes them go and work up quite quickly. So I'm going to put that in its little project bag. And I've got the pair of needles in there ready. Yeah, little grey girl bag again. Some pandas. So there's that. I did also have another cast on, because I think as much as I'm really enjoying the Gansey, it's because it's quite a dark colour and it's very, very fine needles. Sometimes you just want that quick, you want that, is it gratification? That's, is that the right word? When something works sort of quite quick and you get a sense of achievement. I kind of wanted that. And so I casted on a hat for myself. So this was a Haunted Mansion by Floof fibre. Oh, it matches my nails, look. And it's in the Aran weight. And I've started, I'm just cast on, it's called the Angel Hat by Kay Jones of Bake with Bears. And I'm still working on the rib. And can you see that it's like, there's like a double pool, like a double spiral. Normally I'm not a huge fan of pool when it pulls, especially in a sock. I'm just like, but I'm quite happy with how this is doing. And it's all like, you probably can't see it there, but the dark, or maybe there, you've got like a dark green, and then there's also like a dark purple, and then bright orange and bright pink. So that is just if I just need a quick fix. And also it should, even when I do like a full couple of evenings on it, I don't think it'll take long to do. So there's that. Are you ready for the update on the Gansey? I've done quite a lot on it, because I had, as I say, I had 2 weeks off just before starting the new job, and I was going to do a bit of relaxing anyway, and then I caught COVID, and then obviously I was just like, I was quite poorly with it, because it wasn't a little cold, shall we say, but I thought, I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, so I ended up just working on the Gansey. So where was I up to last time? I think that was it. I think last time I just finished the front and I just finished the back. Okay. I want to say the details on this, because I always forget to say this as well, every single time. Just gonna have a cup of tea. This is a cup that I made. You know those pottery places? Oh, I'm gonna spill it. It says tea. Oh, and then on the other side of the other side of the teapot, it says time. So it says tea time. Oh. So, Yorkshire tea, decaf, obviously. So the yarn that I'm using, and I always forget to say this on the Gansey, I don't know why. The yarn I'm using is from Frangipani, and it's the 5 ply, so it's like a sport weight, and it's the navy. So I ordered a shade card from her right at the beginning. I think it was in the summer, and there was a few different, there was like 3 different navies, and this is just the standard navy. So it has a neckband, which I am so utterly proud of, because it is absolutely perfect. It's just got the right kind of stretch in it. But I also did, look at those bad boys. These are the shoulder saddles, and it's quite difficult to show you. So I just did a chevron pattern. So you know, like the chevron, like the middle, I just did that to tie it all in. And let's see if we can see it. It's got such a nice line. I feel like I'm not showing this very well, am I? And I did like a little bit of a neck gusset. Don't know if you can see it there, like a little bit of a decrease on there. Now, when I've tried this on, I was worried about like this looking like it was bunching. So as I say, I've been writing my own notes as I go, but I've not been following one particular pattern. I've been reading the book. Have we got it there? There we go. So I've been using this book called Knitting Ganseys by Beth Brown Reinsel, which is really good. But I've been reading it through and picking little bits here and there, and then I designed the yoke bit myself, and then I was like reading when they did like a section about the shoulder saddles, and what I did was, when I read the pattern, it seemed to, I don't know if it made it more complicated than it was. I felt like I just had so many needles, because I had one needle holding the back stitches, one needle holding the live front shoulder stitches, and then I had a separate pair of needles where I was I'd cast on my 20 stitches, say, and then what you do then is you knit to the end of that row except the last one, and then you're knitting your last stitch and one from the spare needles together. And it just felt like I was spiking myself everywhere, and I was going quite slow, and I wasn't sure if I was pulling it tight enough and all that. So what I ended up doing was doing away with that middle pair of needles. And when you're doing a sock, when you're doing the heel flap and gusset method, and you're knitting and then you're turning, and it leaves a little bit of a natural gap, doesn't it? And then you know that that's your gap where you pick the last stitch and then the other stitch, knit them together. So that's kind of how I was using it. I just felt like I dropped a pair of needles out of the equation, and it just felt so much more easier on my hands, and I got into a better rhythm. So that's my little top tip. If I've not explained myself very well, just drop me a message and I'll see if I can put it into better wording. But yeah, so I got that done. So I got those two done, and then I did the neckband. The neckband I knit double the length, and then I very carefully sewed it on the inside, and it's great. It's got just the right amount of stretch. And then I picked up for the sleeves. So same again, I did a band of about 7 garter ridges, and then I did about the same again in a 2x2, because it just, to me, that just kind of gives it enough of a definition. And then they wanted it plain. Now I was a bit worried that I'd picked up too many stitches and it was too wide, but in fairness, the pattern suggested, well, when I'd looked at, I used one of the other patterns that she has when it comes to the sleeve and all that, and it was saying to pick up 2 stitches for every 3 rows, and I did even less than that. So I don't know if I was using different needles, or, and I read it a couple of times thinking, is it me? But then what I ended up doing, I've jotted it down on my notebook, I decreased a lot more rapidly. So I think the first chunk I did was every 7 rows, and then I dropped down to about every 5. And then, as I say, I've just started. I did a bit of when I got to there, and then I had to go into the rib, I went from 98 stitches to 76. And I think that's all right, it doesn't look too gathered. One thing to mention, so the recipient kind of tried it on the other night. When they tried it on, when it was just, as I say, the panel, I measured from where it sat on them to where his wrist was, and it was, we could agree that it was going to be like 28 inches. But with that on and the sleeve material, it pulls it, and it kind of pulled it more further down. So I'm glad that we had that other fitting, because it literally made a difference of about 4 inches. So I thought, I was like, 4 inches, that means I've got 4 inches less to knit. Yes, excellent. So yeah, I can't even fit it in the screen there. Oh, just about. So I'm very, very happy with how that's going. For the rib, I'm gonna do, I say, double length so they can roll it back, and then I'm also gonna have on the seam line a gap so they can kind of tuck the thumb through it, wear it like a mitt, you know, if it around the house it's cold. But to be honest with you, it's like wearing a boiler suit. It's so warm, which is really, really good. But I don't think we're quite in the cold weather yet, are we? So yeah. Oh, I'll show you the underarm gussets as well, if I can. Oh, that's a good shot there, isn't it? So you do like half of it, and then you put it onto scrap yarn and the other half. And my husband is just coming back in from a walk, so you might hear the door go beep beep. Hello dear, I'm just podcasting. So yeah, so that is that done. And yes, so I've worked out, I think I've got about maybe 15 to 20 hours worth of work left on it, and then it will be finished. So I'm really happy about that. And then I think I'm on track for finishing at end of October, and then I want to pick up my Radiate sweater and get that done in time for December. So yes, I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. And I think that is all I've got time for today. Oh, quite a nice shortish one. I just realised I've not done any like budgeting talk for a little while. And I have recently just getting the whole mum guilt, because I was laid up in the summer holidays with my knee, and when I had to take the time off work from a job, my son was at school. I've also got the October half term off, so I thought I wanted to go do something, and we are going away to Betsy Code in Wales, to the Forest Coaster, which is something that looks really good fun. I know that he will absolutely love it, and I feel like my knee is the right amount of better recovery by now. So I've been driving for a few weeks now, and with it being a bit of a drive away, it's about 2.5 to 3 hours, I thought it's a bit much to do that all in one day. And then I thought, oh, what about the cost for a hotel? And I found a hotel in Llandudno, so I thought we can have a second day in Llandudno on the beach. End of October, it'll be freezing, but you know. And I found a hotel including breakfast for £48. So I thought, that to me is quite justifiable, really. And it just made me think. I thought, sometimes you just want a cheap and cheerful breakaway, and I thought some of the big chain hotels, yeah, you know what you get, but it also can come with a bit of a premium. But some of the more like smaller and friendly hotels might be quite a lot cheaper. So I shall report back anyway. It looks really nice. It looks, you know, and it doesn't even look as if it's like too dated. Well, the rooms inside look quite nice enough. Certainly on a par with like Premier Inn and stuff like that. So, and I think the Premier Inn for that area was about 78. So there we go. So there's my little tip. I shall report back and I'll let you know. But hopefully I will be podcasting again before then. Do you know what? The next time I podcast, I might have finished this. Can you imagine? How exciting will that be? Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. And yes, don't forget to join in on the giveaway and put a little comment. Just let me know what tasks that you've done that you are being putting off because it's just like a silly little mental block that you can't get yourself over. And if you need me to body double and talk you through it to get it done. So yeah, that's fine. Right, I shall speak to you all again soon. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I'll see you later. Bye.